start our YouTube live stream. This will essentially just cover this will just allow for anyone from the public that wants to observe the hearing to tune in. Last thing I need to do is read through our hearing script, which will cover the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll get started. This is the May 25th, 2022 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati. I'll preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20220075. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing, unless a party has submitted testimony or evidence in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If there were anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to present after the applicant had presented its case. I will give the zoning administrator, Emily A. House, an opportunity to provide any testimony that she would like. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, I will give the applicant an opportunity to respond or to rebut any of that testimony that was offered in opposition. And then finally, I will give the applicant an opportunity to make any closing statements. So for our purposes here today, I'll give Mr. Koosters and Mr. Smith an opportunity to tell me about the project, any background, any information you think is important for me to know, and then of course why you think this is appropriate, why I should grant the relief. I will then go to Ms. A. House to provide any testimony she would like. You guys can respond to anything she said and make any closing statements, and that's pretty much it. You guys can orient that however you want. It can be one of you, both of you. It's completely up to you. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony. That's generally evidence you want to introduce that consists of statements made by someone who's not present at the hearing today. In the event of any technical problems with the Zoom, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly, but to the extent that there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with the hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay, last thing to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, making any comments, asking any questions, really doing anything other than just strictly observing, then you need to be sworn in. So if that's you, if you could raise your right hand, I need everyone to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. Who's going to be taking the lead for me here?
I will.
All right, Will, or sorry, John, the floor is yours.
Okay. So the property is at 4016 Allston Street. It is leased up currently with tenants that are Monday through Friday operators. And we have an 18-car parking lot that's not utilized at night and on the weekends. And we're asking for relief to operate the last, I believe we have about roughly 700 square feet left to build a small bar in it. It'll be called Annie Oakley's. And it will operate from 5 p.m. till we have the liquor licenses from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then on the weekends when nobody's currently using the parking lot. And so we're asking for the relief for that. I can't remember how many spots it was. I think it was 5 spots or 6 spots that we needed for the relief. There's 18 spots in the parking lot currently.
And this has been approved.
Right. We went through this hearing previously and we were approved. But we had 2 years to commence it, and then COVID happened. So we had all the drawings and everything done and submitted, and we were ready to break ground, and then we couldn't operate. So we put it on hold. And now that the restrictions of operating have been released, and people can actually go out and eat and go to the bars, that we want to continue the process. We asked for an extension on ours in the law department, so that they really didn't have any mechanism to do that, so that they requested us to just go through the whole this process again, which is why we're here.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Was the previous approval in 2020, or is that?
No, it was like 2019, I think. And so it was 2 years to get to file for the permits, and then by the time we got there, that we were We have several other establishments, and they were all shut down. So we were, laying off employees and trying to find work for everybody. So it didn't make sense for us to move forward at that point in time.
Gotcha. So is there another business that's using the existing parking lot? Is that right?
Yes, the existing parking lot is being used. There's 4 businesses in the building currently. One is a print shop. One is a kitchen cabinet store. It's more like, it's not really it's a showroom, but it's for a builder, and so they bring clientele through. But they're all the places that are there are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and the back office is bond traders, and they're also Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you're in the operating hours for this establishment will be outside of those entirely?
Yes.
Or will be
Yes.
overlap?
So we're actually going to be the operator of the bar also. So we'll make sure that it's operated. It's not going to open until 5 o'clock till everybody else is gone.
Gotcha.
And it'll be open on the weekends.
Gotcha.
When nobody's currently in the building.
Okay. Got it. And so Emily, real quick, so the reason this is technically going to be 0 spaces is because those other ones are already under like a parking covenant. Is that right?
Yeah, there's no provision in the zoning code to really share based on hours of operation the way this is set up. So those spaces are technically designated to the other uses.
Gotcha. Okay. Mr. Smith or Mr. Koosters, anything else you want to tell me about this project?
We had support from the community. They've written us letters. We went through there. We originally we had this extra space, and we went to the community in Oakley, and we asked them what they wanted in the space at the community council meetings, and then we came back. We did 3 meetings in a row. The first one we gave them some different ideas of what we could use the space for. There are some things that we can do that don't require parking spaces, or enough that we had enough based on the square footage that we'd use. I think we have 1 space left anyway, based on square footage what we use. I can't remember what the whole thing was, but we asked the community what they wanted in the space. And then when we came back, this is what they told us they wanted. Because one of the things we could use it for storage and rent storage facilities, which didn't require parking, or at least parking to that extent. That
You asked Oakley Community Council what they wanted in this space, and they said
yes. We asked for their ideas because we knew we were going to need their support. And that was an exciting meeting. It was an exciting meeting. But they came back. We went to 3 meetings in a row. The first meeting, we told them we had the space. We wanted to do something with it because right now it's the front of the building. It's just an empty storefront, and that doesn't look good for the community. And then we came back, and then they had a meeting on it, and people gave their ideas. And then the 3rd meeting, they came back and voted on it. And we gave some input to what we wanted to do. And this is what they said. We also own the building across the street, and we own Oakley Wines. And so that's kind of the type of establishment that we operate. And they liked that idea. And so they said that's what they wanted. And they wrote us a letter of recommendation saying that.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I don't think I have any other questions. Emily, did you want to add any additional testimony on this?
Sure. Generally, as the applicant stated, this was previously approved in 2018. It's the same basic application, and the approval just expired. Our finding is the relatively small size of the space and the 5 parking spaces it requires are not likely to result in adverse impacts to the surrounding properties, particularly as they have that adjacent parking lot with users who will primarily be gone at 5 o'clock when the bar opens. I think one item that we didn't know at the time the staff report was prepared is the Oakley Community Council has put in a formal request for an urban parking overlay to the city. And so that urban parking overlay would include this location. Certainly we review it according to the current code because that hasn't been passed or been through the review process. But if that change were to take place, no parking would be required at this.
Okay, so the overlay would be to remove parking requirements
to remove
in,
all parking requirements, yes.
in the Oakley Business District, just in the
Yeah.
urban design district?
There's 3, they provided a map of the area
Oh, okay.
requesting to have this no parking overlay, similar to what's downtown.
Oh, great. Good for them.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that makes sense. Did you have a condition on this as well at your department, or did you recommend a condition on this?
I think it was a pretty simple condition based on just that there were some additional spaces that were noted as rentable space, but there's no other, just as we only are looking at the 750 square feet. So anything coming forward in those other vacant spaces would need to go through the full review process.
Gotcha. Okay. Mr. Smith, any issue with that recommendation? Did you have a chance to read that?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay. Do you understand what they're recommending that I condition the approval on?
That if we build out more space inside the building, that we come for another hearing? Is that what that was?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This
Which
is
is-
the end.
I mean-
This will be the end of this build. We're out of space in the building, unfortunately for us. We'd love to have more space, but we're out. It's a popular area.
And we did recommend that as a condition, but that would be, that would be the requirement, even if that condition is in place.
Sure.
So, okay. Anything else in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here, guys?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay. I've had a chance to review the application materials and the staff report. Based on that and the testimony here today, I will approve the project. I need to write up the actual approval and like a formal decision. That's been taking me about 2 to 3 weeks at this time based on the volume that we have of applications in. I'll do everything I can to get that out to you as quickly as possible. But I think that's probably a reasonable estimate. If you'd like a status update on where I'm at with the decision, feel free to email me directly if you'd like, and I'm happy to let you know where I'm at. We've just been, I don't know if it's the time of the year, I think it's the weather. We've just been getting a lot of applications recently. And so I'm just trying to get them out as quickly as I possibly can. So I appreciate your patience on that, but feel free to send me an email if you'd like a status update on that. Or if you have any other questions in the meantime, you can reach out to me or to Ms. A House, and we're happy to help.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure, no problem. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot.
You too.
Welcome to the
Thank